We have time for a couple more questions. Yes, Sonora, who just got a sexy blowout. Very nice.
So I'm an actor and an intellectual property paralegal. So I'm very invested in the rights of the filmmakers and directors and writers. And I'm just really curious about the dynamic of either have all your rights, do it all yourself, or send them all away and possibly not make that much of a profit. And I was wondering if it's possible to have a distribution deal with terms like, you renegotiate after a year or two. That way, if it's not profitable, for both parties, and it's not like a drain on distributor or a loss or a wash for the filmmaker. Do you ever do that? Is that not done in this world?
Hot seat. Well, let me just say that, when I answered your question about money, there are like 50 variations on our contract. So, we're always working with filmmakers to find something that works really well for them. So it really depends on the project, I suppose. I mean, in terms of renegotiating a year later, probably not, because a year is very early into the cycle for us. I mean, that's a great thing about LGBT film, is it really has legs. And, we acquired Big Eden 10 years ago. We're still selling it. Clara the Man, 18 years ago, still selling it. So, now some of those older deals have definitely been renegotiated. Some of the projects that did really, really fantastic have been renegotiated, actually, in the filmmaker's favor. So it's not impossible, but probably not as early as a year.
Cool.
And Sonora brings up a good point that we haven't touched on, which is around rights and having the rights to your film. Not talking about distribution, I'm talking about everything in your film, that you own the rights, that you went SAG shorty, so that the actors that you have in your film will A, get paid, but B, you'll be able to sell this film. Because if you use, you have union actors and non-union actors, and you've got, Scarface poster in the background, and you've got, unlicensed Coldplay over your breakout movie, you're going to be screwed. And so I think that one of the very important conversations that I've had with Sonora many times is the idea that everybody should be getting paid, not just the filmmaker. We're all artists.
How many of you know about the Creative Commons website?
Creative Commons.
You should all write that one down, creativecommons.org. They're trying to bridge the gap between the very arcane copyright rules and the broker deals between musicians that might want to have their songs be paid for with a high-end commercial, but for an indie film they won't charge. It's a great place to kind of find this new middle ground about copyright.
Yes. I also want to say that, there are like three really basic things that you really have to pay attention to. If you have SAG actors, make sure that SAG is paid immediately. Make sure that somebody is remembering when you first get that MG or you get that first check in your first quarter, that somebody's paying them, because they will come back to Wolf and pull that film later, and then everybody's screwed. And secondly, take good photographs. Take good photographs of your actors in character, something gorgeous. If you've got the best photo, it's going to get on the box. It's going to show up on the internet representing a collection, if it were from us, for example. And then, as Roberta said, pay attention to your music. If you can lay something in later, that's not impossible, but it often can delay it even getting acquired.
And it's such a waste of time. It's such when you use unlicensed music in your, I'm just going to do it on the festival circuit, and then I'll put in original music if I sell it. You don't have that. You don't usually have that kind of time.
Which is why short films are a great place to feature your favorite musician, trans person, and your friends, and the people that you've been working with. Yeah.
And the hat and the jacket. Like with the hat. Yeah.
And just a quick comment, too, for the filmmakers. I work at Jama.com, which is an online distributor of films, but something I just wanted to remark upon. Tiffany made the good point about, attention span has shortened and bandwidth has widened. Also, to consider international audiences. Like YouTube, Jaman has 2/3 of its traffic coming from overseas places. Jaman, Jaman, sorry for the plug.
But we're really finding from Brazil, India, China, Argentina, huge audiences that are very, very hungry. They have a great appetite for film. They see a lot of things, they get our media to a certain degree from an advertising standpoint, but they don't have access to these films in theaters, and so online is the way that they want to enjoy these films.
And how do the filmmakers monetize? How do they benefit financially from your?
It's similar, so we not exclusive rights, so it's a kind of a small range of different contracts, but there's a split, and from there what we find is that we have people come into their kind of self-upload, and from there we're watch activity, and then we help promote them. So.
Do you subtitle?
No, we do not. That is something we'll be doing in the future.
But are you still getting a lot of hits from foreign countries on?
Absolutely.
There's a new site that's coming out, not yet, but it does wiki subtitling. So it has people from all over the world.
That's Friday, yeah.
It hasn't launched yet, but when it does officially go out there, I'll definitely mention it. I'm so excited by it because you can have your film translated by people in the countries, 50, 60 different languages.
Doesn't .sub already?
Yeah, but they're not fully integrated in their model on how they're going to.
Yeah, it's expensive to subtitle even a short film.
Because we made a short about gays in China. It took like 2 weeks to shoot the film and then like a year to subtitle it.
Yeah, I think the international thing is really interesting, especially for shorts, because chances are there's not going to be a lot of international distribution for your shorts. So I think that's a great idea. For features, it's going to screw up your distribution deal, but for shorts, it may not.
Funny thing is, if your audience is passionate enough and if you engage them enough, they'll do it for you. And a perfect example is We Are the Strange. So that movie was already subtitled into many languages for free.
I think we have time for one more question. And yes.
Just a couple of comments. We're self-distributing our film, and it's being subtitled in 14 different languages.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting the translation from the festivals we've screened around the world.
Yeah, that's
They've
what I
done
heard.
it for us,
Mm-hmm.
and then our fans are doing the subtitling for us.
Oh.
Also, people always ask us we had a film here a few years ago called Genghis Blues, and we're traveling with a new film called Beyond the Call. People ask us, what's the most important thing? I'm a budding filmmaker. Do I need to know actors, producers, sales agents? And I say a lawyer. Get to know a lawyer. And your uncle, who's a real estate lawyer in Maine, is not the right one. You need an entertainment lawyer. And the third thing is, our audiences, we don't only get our emails from them and things like that, but we always, I always follow up I liked your film with, why? And when I'm in Korea or I'm in South Africa or I'm in Louisiana or wherever, they say, because there's this organization, or I come from this background, and I take that note down, and as the DVD comes out in a couple of months, we have been grooming those relationships at every other festival, and we've grown audiences that way and won audience awards because we get a vested audience to come and pack our film and vote it the best film. So, really.
From my esteemed panelists, do we have any parting words for this lovely audience? Maria?
Well, if you've got a short you want to talk to me about, I'll be here.
That's what we're trying to hear. Dean?
Get the word out. Shorts are a great way to do that.
Tiffany?
It's a very exciting time, and if you're into what's happening, the world is yours on, making a short film in a new way, engaging audiences.
Yeah, you should feel more empowered than ever, and do the research and educate yourself, because you'd be amazed at what you can accomplish by yourself and then by engaging others, which we call Do It With Others, DEWO filmmaking.
And my parting comments is just, short films are the best, and they're better than features, and I love them. And I would also, please, if you guys are still around on Wednesday, come out to the book signing, because I'll apply you with liquor, and the book's only $13.95. But thank you so much for coming out, and I'm really excited for everybody. I think that is a wonderful way to be creative and entertain the world at the same time, is to make short films. So thank you, and thank you to the lovely panelists. You guys are awesome. Thank you. And thank you to Queer Lounge.
Thank you, Queer Lounge.
Thank you, Queer Lounge.